Today I am in possession of information that I had time to cross and check, and that I will share with you. This information is so unbelievable to the uninitiated that I will not ask you to take my word for it. I simply give you some elements so that everyone can do their own research. Everyone has heard about conspiracy theories, from Kennedy's assassination to the attacks of September 11th, to name only the best known. Many of these plots, false flag attacks, are real and verified. They are the world that we superpose on our eyes, reference matrix, and intended to control us, keep us in slavery. A little historical reminder. The Illuminati are a secret brotherhood whose name literally means the Illuminati, from the Latin illumina, to illuminate, to know. They are often represented by the pyramids surmounted by an illuminating eye, as on the dollar bill. If you go on Wikipedia, you will have little ready this definition. Secret movement founded in May 1776 in Bavaria by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. It is in fact a false definition. The Illuminati movement is in fact much older. This date of 1776 represents in fact the split between the old branch, the Freemasons, the Order of the Templars, and a new branch, that we know nowadays more commonly, the leaders of the world. The Bilderberg Group, the Bohemian Group, the Knights of the Maltese Cross. Their original purpose was supposedly to work to build political and economic cooperation between Western Europe. North America and Japan as part of a New World Order was established in 1972 by D. Rockefeller and Zbigniew Brzezinski using contacts with the Bilderbergers. There are currently 10,000 Illuminati, including 300 Illuminati masters, placed in key positions of power and controlling everything: politics, army, media, food and water, genetic engineering, banks, economy and financial market. One of the main suppliers of this elite is in Yale University in the United States, the siblings of the Skulls and Bones. These new recruits are placed in key positions and their mission is to co-opt the other members in key positions: NSA, CIA, politics, major corporations, Army Chiefs of Staff, UN, European Parliament. Media. The skull you see in the center is that of the famous Indian Geronimo. His family claims that his bones have been returned for years. Skull and Bones perform satanic rituals of initiation and submission to their hierarchy. I do not tell you more about these rituals that prepare them for the future Illuminati rituals because you would not believe me. It exceeds the imagination and brings us back to the stories of the Middle Ages. Do your research. The aim of Illuminati is to create a new world order led by an enlightened elite. The people are seen by them as a means to enrich themselves and serve them, and not as human beings. Only the illuminated are considered human. They believe in reincarnation and immortality, which is true. Reincarnation is a fact. The soul exists. We are all immortal. They think they are divine. They do not believe in any religion. They fight all religions, infiltrate them, control them, or kill anyone who does not want to comply with their demands, like Pope Albino Luciani, John Paul I, or the attempt on John Paul II. The Illuminati have totally taken control of the Vatican since the death of John Paul II. The Illuminati have the agenda to depopulate the planet by eliminating 4 billion humans to more easily control the population and natural resources. For that they triggered the financial crisis, fueled hatred between peoples, created conflicts of civilization and religions, swayed diseases from military bio-researched poisoned food with Monsanto. Chemical scales in the air thanks to jet fuels, chemtrails, cause natural disasters thanks to HAARP. The First World War was caused by the Illuminati, then the Second. Hitler, who was a fervent admirer of secret brotherhoods, including the Thule Brotherhood, he also believed that lost technologies were described in ancient myths. He dispatched groups of archaeologists and researchers around the world to find artifacts and traces of these technologies, including the search for the Ark of the Covenant described in the Indiana Jones movie, which remains fairly close to reality. At the same time, the crystal skull's supposed to contain the information of the Old One's sort of hard disk. The Second World War was the scene of a battle for the control of the world by two secret opposing societies. Hitler almost won this war thanks to the breakthrough technology developed by one of the many alien race. At the end of the war, all the scientists were recovered by the Americans and the Soviets. None of these super scientists were tried in Nuremberg. The best known of them were Werner von Braun, inventor of the rocket V1 and V2. He participated in the creation of NASA. It is the father of the American space program. Look for the latest statements from Werner von Braun in terminal cancer and you will be surprised. Since the Illuminati took control of all American and European political institutions during the Cold War, they also took control of the KGB. Secret top documents of the KGB bear the seal of the Illuminatis. A point that is seen through a magnifying glass shows the symbol of the pyramid in the Illuminati eye. They are at the origin, among others, of the murder of Nicholas Tesla in '43, because he had the misfortune to find how to produce free energy, of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. See his last speech before he died on the secret societies, of the organization and financing of the May '68 events in France, of the creation of AIDS bacteriological weapon, of the assassination of William Cooper, who warned for 9/11 attacks, of the creation of the 2008 financial crisis, of the gripe H1N1, multiple earthquakes and tsunamis in Asia including the latest in Japan at Fukushima, military technology, of climate control and disruption, of half of the murder of Michael Jackson, of the very recent assassination of Kim Jong-il, various reversals of power in the Middle East, death of Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein. This is obviously not an exhaustive list. Nicolas Sarkozy himself was trained by the CIA and is part of the Illuminati, like Berlusconi and Tony Blair. Some other major members are Emmanuel Macron, President of the current French Republic, Henry Kissinger, Nixon Minister of Foreign Affairs, President of Kissinger Associates Inc., Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, Philippe Jaffra, former President of Elf Aquitaine, former CEO of Crédit Agricole, Giovanni Agnelli, President of Fiat, Michel Camdessus, former President of the World Bank, former Governor of the Banque de France, Jean-Claude Trichet, Governor of the Banque de France, President of the ECB, the European Central Bank, Etienne Davignon, President of Société Générale of Belgium, Giulio Andreotti, the man who led Italy for almost 30 years, involved in numerous scandals in connection with the Mafia, the Masonic Lodge P2, and the extreme right-wing attacks in Italy in the 1970s, Leon Britton, Vice President of the European Commission, European negotiator for the GATT, ardent promoter of the AMI and NTM treaties, Hillary Clinton, Senator of the Democratic Party, wife of Bill Clinton, Ernest Antoine Silier, Chairman of the Wendell Investissement Holdings and CGIP, President of the MEDEF, the Organization of Business Leaders in France, James Wolfenson, President of the World Bank, David Rockefeller, President of Chase Manhattan Bank, Bill Gates, President of Microsoft, Franz Franitzky, former Chancellor of Austria, Hilmar Kopper, Chairman of the Executive Board of Deutsche Bank, Vernon Jordans, Managing Director of Lazard Bank, Zbigniew Brzezinski, CFR member, former advisor to President Jimmy Carter, Bertrand Collier, President of Lafarge, André Lavilang, former President of the Banque Paribas, Thierry de Montbreuil, Director of the École Polytechnique, member of the Trilateral, Director of IFRI, Pascal Lamy, European Commissioner, and strong supporter of the MAI, Giulio Tremonti, Italian Finance Minister, Member of Parliament for Forza Italia. Silvio Berlusconi's party, Maurice Lipens, president of Fortis Bank. The White Dragons are a very ancient secret society from Asia, initially from China. When the Illuminati asked the Japanese government in 2011 to bend to them, they refused. They asked him, among other things, to halve their population. The retaliation was the earthquake of 8.9 on the Richter scale in Fukushima, caused by HAARP. The Japanese triads then concerted with the Chinese and Korean triads to decide to end the diabolical agenda of Illuminatis. The White Dragons are composed of 6 million members, against 10.000 for Illuminatis. They are implanted all over the world and count in their ranks 100.000 professional assassins. The Russian government with Putin and the Asian governments allied themselves and gave an ultimatum to the New World Order and Illuminati after the fall of the Libyan government and the beginning of the war in Syria. You will not touch Iran, where we will intervene. On the internet, representatives of the White Dragons have posted statements and videos in all languages, especially since 2011, to warn the Illuminati. Stop wanting to destroy the world or we will kill you one by one. So here we are. The internet and the massive spread of the Illuminati agenda is starting to awaken everyone's awareness. The Illuminati have found them stronger in the White Dragons. And they are currently panicking. They are personally cited and threatened with death. Yes, you heard. Bill Gates, Rockefeller, Gordon Brown, Emmanuel Macron and many others risk their lives if they do not backtrack. The White Dragons have even offered them an amnesty if they surrender. We will live in the coming times, a historic event, and whatever the conclusion, whatever the side that will win, I would say to believers that the hour of judgment has come. The final battle of good against evil is already being played. Panic is to be feared on the side of the Illuminati because they have been too far, have too much blood on their hands to let themselves be taken alive, off the nature as well. Cornered, they will do anything to get out, and I think as another mass murder much bigger than 9/11, the worst is to be feared, but hope is back. The Illuminati, who have built underground bases around the world for years, search for the key words, deep underground military bases, or dumb, have recently lost ground bases in the US. The White Dragons have exploded them to avoid that they do not plunge the world into chaos by taking refuge underground. In the news they made these explosions go through earthquakes. Do your research on FEMA camps, on the underground base of Denver Airport, or on the underground Dulce base. Review carefully, silent weapons for quiet wars, and you will understand how much we have been manipulated. Many people have joined the anti-Illuminati's cause even within the NSA and the CIA. In Hollywood, see or review The Matrix, V for Vendetta movies. I make a stop on these two films that must absolutely be reviewed with an informed look. We can save this planet. We have the power. The human being is much bigger and more important than paying bills, watching TV or going shopping. The life you have known on Earth will change forever. We have that choice in our hands. How? Here are the solutions. 1. We must stay away from traditional media. All without exception are controlled and their harmful power is beyond comprehension. 2. We must treat others with respect. Every human being is important. 3. We must eliminate the Illuminatis, submit them to the justice of the man for what they did. For that you have to find out and share this knowledge. 4. We must refuse to enter the extreme consumer society, return to more important human values than to know who has the latest version of iPad. Your iPad will not save you. 5. We must inform ourselves, educate our children. Refuse the traditional school system, genuine brainwashing machine. 6. We must deprogram everything we have learned or believe we know about the history of humanity, religions, sex. 7. We must open ourselves to spirituality, not to become monks in a cave, but to find the harmony, the love and the energy in each one of us. To stop looking for substitutes of all this in the others or in objects. 8. Live in harmony with the planet. Stop sawing the branch on which we are. The world has already been destroyed 6 times since man was created. A new cycle is coming, and our choice will determine what will be our future. Earthly paradise or hell. The genetic code is not the fruit of evolution. We are the product of genetic engineering. Do your research on Princess Nakamura of Japan, on David Wilcock. You will discover what you do not suspect. When I was little like you, my parents told me, you have to work hard at school to get a good job. Decrypted, you are born to pay bills and obey orders. The human being is not made for that. All this will stop. Digging a hole or buying food will not save you. Since the world is world, everything has led us to what will happen, and what makes us humans. Our free will, our final choice.